So, as some of you are probably aware, Succession Musa has received some nerfs recently, and a lot of you guys have asked what my opinions are on these nerfs. But before we get into the video, I just want to say thank you guys for all the support on the recent videos. You guys have really been crushing it, and seeing all the comments and positive feedback means the world to me. So, thank you guys for clicking the subscribe button and leaving a like. It's literally the easiest way to support the channel, and I don't know, it's very surreal, the feeling that I'm feeling with all the support that you guys are giving me. I love seeing all the comments of you guys saying that you love the videos and that you guys are just enjoying them. But yeah, with all that out of the way, let's get into it. So with these nerfs, there wasn't a whole lot of changes, so this video will be pretty easy to cover and discuss about. But firstly, the biggest change that most people have asked questions about is the Gale percentage reduction. As you guys can see on the screen, there was 3 skills that got nerfed for PvE only, and Gale got the biggest hit. Prior to these nerfs, I would say during your grind, you would spam Gale as much as you can since it did the most damage at the time. But with these nerfs, I believe we're going to be shifting into a blooming meta, since blooming had the least damage reduction taken from it, and blooming at the moment still does really high damage. But proccing Serene Mind, other known as blue buff, allows you to use certain skills off a cooldown, including all 3 skills listed here on the screen. And since Gale was the most damaging ability, it received the most damage reduction. And this doesn't at all make Gale a bad ability. It's still a very good damage dealing ability, and I don't think anyone should be derailed by these nerfs. So basically, my biggest question that I received during the nerfs or post nerfs is Succession Musa still viable? And in my opinion, I do believe that Succession Musa is still a top tier grinder. I know prior to these nerfs, Succession Musa and Succession Striker were the top 2 classes that were able to pull at Gyfin in higher end spots like Hex Sanctuary and I believe Trolls. Whenever Calpheon Elvia Calpheon came out, Succession Musa was just outshining every other class there. And I do believe that he honestly did need a nerf. Being a player that has played this class since the release of Succession back in December of 2019, I've been through his class whenever he was at his worst and whenever he was at his best. And I do believe prior to these nerfs, he was at his best. I think he was at peak performance. He was obviously pulling numbers that other classes literally just could not. And it wasn't just like a 1 to 2,000 difference in numbers. It was like he could pull 30k plus an hour at orcs type of number difference. And seeing that number, it's nice, you know, because I've been playing this class, and I want to say prior to the reboot, he was bottom of the barrel. He was F tier. He was just a dog class. He was not even worth picking up. But I played him just because I thought he was very enjoyable, and it was very nice to see him get some changes whenever the reboot came out, and then whenever they buffed him a little bit after. But I do realize that he was a broken class prior to these nerfs, and I do think he did need some reduction. I am glad that the reduction that he was given wasn't too detrimental. I'm glad that the class is still viable and playable, and most importantly, enjoyable. I was very scared whenever I saw that Musa's Succession was going to get nerfed, just because I felt like he was going to get immediately punched back down to the bottom of the tier board. And I'm honestly really glad that he wasn't. Again, I would have put him at S ranking. I'm sure as everyone else would have. I want to say after some time that I've been able to give to him grinding, I would put him probably at B plus, maybe like the mid to high B tier. He's still a very good class. I know some other classes did get buffed recently, so I want to say that he isn't the best of the best anymore at the moment. But I did do an hour or 2 at orcs, and I did record my numbers, so I'm going to be putting that here on the screen here. Prior to the nerfs, I was getting about 20k plus per hour with a constant weapon. Like since Elvia nerf got to where you can only have at least a max of 3 weapons per hour, I am a little sad that I'm not able to pull 20k anymore, but the silver per hour isn't a big loss, if that makes sense. I'm not losing out on 100 to 200 mil silver an hour or something at orcs. I'm only losing maybe 50, which I mean 50 mil is like a tent buff or whatever, but it honestly doesn't matter in that sense, just because I do think that the class was, again, I think he was too overpowered. I think that he needed to get nerfed a little bit. I do honestly think that instead of nerfing classes, I think that PA should buff the other classes up to the same level. I'm not I'm not a game developer. I don't know what the best idea would be, but I feel like whenever they nerf classes, it allows other classes to rise up, and then they become too overpowered, and then people see their numbers and they're like, oh, that class is pulling way much than this class, and then they end up having to nerf it, and then they buff other classes, and I think it's just a constant cycle of buffing and nerfing. And I wish that they would just buff every class to the same equal playing field, so that there is no, oh, this class pulls X amount of trash more than my class, yada yada. And if you guys have any opinions about that, please feel free to leave a comment below. I love open discussions. I want people to discuss about any of this topic. But as a answer for anyone that may be like, oh, what do you think of Succ Musa changes? I think that they're fine. I think that they were needed. I think that he needed to get punched down just a little bit to level him out with everyone else. I do know that Awakening is better at certain places like Centaurs, where you need to dash more from pack to pack if they're spread out. But with very sequestered spots where everything is very tight in the same area, kind of like Gyphon or Hex, I do think Succession still outshines Awakening. But at the end of the day, you're going to play what you want to play. But I do think Succession Musa is still very good. I know a lot of you guys have been popping into my Twitch streams recently from my YouTube channel, or if you see me in any Discords, asking my opinion or what I think. And yeah, this is basically what I think. I think that he's still very viable. I think he's a good class. I know a lot of you guys from my Discord channel have tried him out for the season server, and you guys have said that he's a very fun class to play, but you were worried about taking him to the next level and graduating just because you weren't sure if the nerfs were going to make him not good enough to grind. But I don't think you have anything to worry about. Again, I do think that we're going to be moving from a Gale meta to a Bloomy meta, since the Gale nerfs was 36.2%. I know a lot of people were like, oh, but it only says during cooldown. But the thing is that using Serene Mind or Blue Buff, however you want to call it, whenever you're grinding, you're always going to be using these skills off of cooldown. You know what I mean? Like, you're not waiting 10 seconds for your cooldown because you're proccing Serene Mind, allowing yourself to just spam these abilities back to back to back. So it makes sense that they only did it during the cooldown, because your abilities are just going to always be on cooldown. But no, I think the class is still good. I don't think that there's anything necessarily wrong with him. Obviously, there's some, like, as a lot of players have wanted, they want stamina changes, but that's a completely different video. But this is only going to be addressing the nerfs and what my thoughts and opinions are. And again, at the end of the day, I think he's a great class still. I think he's still very viable. He's still going to pull very decent numbers. He's still doing a lot of damage. I hope that they don't nerf him anymore. I don't really want him to be touched in a negative light. I don't want him to be punched down even further. I think he's in a really good spot. So if you guys are if you guys are people who have been watching my videos for a while and you've been contemplating trying or picking up the class, I still think that it is a good idea to try it out at least. I know that you can early graduate from the season, so I'm not sure if any of you guys are still I don't know if any of you guys have yet to play the season, but if you haven't, I would highly suggest making a Succession Musa, giving it a shot, seeing how you like it. It's my favorite class in the game. Yeah, hopefully my opinion gave you guys some insight on this. I've tried looking to see if anyone else has made videos about this, and I haven't seen any. I know that there's not like a crazy lot of Succession Musa players that make a bunch of content for the game. So hopefully this reaches a target audience to where my opinion matters to them, since again, I know you guys have been asking on my Twitch stream and in my comments on my YouTube videos about my opinion. So hopefully to those people who have been asking, this video reached them, and hopefully you guys are hearing me out. But yeah, thank you guys so much for all the support again. I appreciate it a lot. At the time of this video, I think we're at like 1.6k subs on YouTube, so seriously, thank you guys so much for that. We're trying to hit 2k by the end of the year, so if you guys are still watching and you have not subscribed, please hit that button. It's free to do. If you don't want to, it's okay. And yeah, consider leaving a like on the video. It's the easiest way to support the channel, and it lets me know that you guys are enjoying the content that I'm putting out. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Take care.